Thank you for watching. I watched the Kent Hovind debate, and I have thoughts on it. This one was against a man named Tom Jump. The format was slightly different than usual debates. Usually debates have a moderator. This one had no moderator, but both men were respectful. They didn't cut each other off. They gave each other a chance to speak. Neither of them went on a long rant that, didn't give the other one a chance to respond. Yeah, let's see. And Kent Hovind won this debate because he had good logic and facts. Kent Hovind's premise in this debate was that evolutionism is a religion because we don't see it happening. Now, microevolution does happen. Kent Hovind described microevolution, but macroevolution, that's never been seen, and that's science. Science is if it's been seen. Never been seen, so it's unscientific. And Kent Hovind doesn't mind people having their religious beliefs. He just doesn't want a religious belief printed out in a science book, especially a science textbook in public school that he as a taxpayer has to pay for. Tom did not seem to understand how complex computer programs are because he was talking as if randomly changing lines in the computer program will make it run better. And randomly adding more data to a computer program, more lines, if they're not thought out, won't make a computer program work better. He was talking as if we just need more DNA. It's just as simple as more, and he listed off the 4 letters that are the symbols of the 4 proteins in DNA. A, C, T, G, I think they are. But that doesn't help you more. Just like having more letters of the alphabet doesn't help you to make understandable instructions about how to build something. Having more DNA letters, if they are not intelligently designed and put there, won't get new body parts, won't make something that could survive in the wild. Tom Jump claimed that macroevolution happens and it's been witnessed in scientific laboratories. No, it hasn't. He lists off animals, but I would love to, if that ever has actually happened, I would read about it. I'm not somebody who, does this, blah, 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 if there's something that I didn't believe or something, I'm willing to hear you out, but every time I've heard somebody say, see, there's proof it happens, they point to microevolution, or he said flies. I've seen the flies, pictures of the flies that they got by encouraging genetic mutations with radiation. They did not get better. They did not get more viable wings. And even if they did, the information for a wing is already there. The religion of evolutionism says everything, plant and animal, has a common single-cell ancestor. That means that original ancestor did not have the instructions in its deoxyribonucleic acid for working together with other cells, for building arms, legs, lungs, digestive system, stomach, hair, fur, feathers, bark, sap, leaves, seeds, sperm, egg. All of that stuff had to have somehow got there, and we don't have any evidence, it's never been witnessed, of information to build new body parts happening by random chance. Tom Jump at one point said something that hinted that Kent Hovind was saying that mutants don't take over. Kent Hovind never said that. Just that we don't see macroevolutionary changes. So, it's very plausible that there were 2 kinds of deer in one area, or there was a mutation in a deer in one area, and the mutation did make it a better deer, and they outcompeted the other deer. That's very plausible, but that has nothing to do with, or at least that does not prove, that something that was not a bird grew feathers, or that a lizard grew mammary glands, a new heart, and fur, all because of genetic mutations. That's not been seen. Tom Jump tried to make an analogy between counting to a trillion, and microevolution changes adding up to macroevolutionary changes. That is a bad analogy, because when you're counting from 1 to a trillion, you can just keep going, nothing goes wrong. But macroevolutionary changes that we have witnessed usually are harmful. You know, breeding cows so they give us more milk is harmful to that animal's chance of survival in the wild. And that's what you need microevolutionary changes to do if they were to add up to macroevolutionary changes. But it's never been seen. And what we do see is things getting worse. Sometimes the microevolutionary changes are recessive genes being bred into a population, or the population is bred so that the recessive gene is the only one there, or that the natural selection selects the recessive gene. In that instance, you've lost genetic information. There is less genetic information than you started out with, and that's not going to help new things to grow. Tom Jump said one thing about God. He said he's sure there's no God, because God would have made the world differently if there was a God. God would have made a perfect world if he was a perfect God. Somebody else not doing what I would have done if I was in their position is not proof that they don't exist. That's bad logic. If that logic were true, then you would be able to think of any president of the United States, or prime minister of Canada, or think of any other leader of any other country that's done something that you wouldn't have done, and say, wow, so so-and-so never existed because I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have signed that law. I wouldn't have ordered the army to go there. I wouldn't have done this or that. That's bad logic. What we should ask ourselves is there any evidence that complex things can happen by random chance? And we have zero evidence of that. It's never been witnessed. What we do see is things breaking down, falling apart, never something complex happening because of random chance. So, thank you for watching my thoughts on this debate between Kent Hovind and Tom Jump, where Kent Hovind definitely won the debate. Kent Hovind had more facts and good logic on his side.